Good day, everyone, and welcome to our Masterclass. My name is Nathaniel Smith. I'm one of the health promotion specialists at CFB Borden. The purpose of our Masterclass series is to allow you to get to know or perhaps become a little bit more familiar with some of the resources, some of the experts within our community. Today, I'll be joined by several members from the Borden Family Resource Center. And joining me now is Maude Jean Workman, who is the Community Integration Program Supervisor. I hope I got that right. Welcome.
You did.
Maude.
Thank you, Nat.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
It's been a while. Why don't we jump right in? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Why don't you start off by perhaps telling us a little bit more about yourself and your role at the Borden Family Resource Center?
All right. So like you said, I'm the Community Integration Program Supervisor at the center. I've been there for almost 7 years. I'm a military spouse, and my role there is I oversee the information and referral, employment and education, personal development, and volunteer services. So the Community Integration Program team, overall, we help military members and their family integrate into the Borden community. And also, we are fully bilingual.
Wonderful. On peut le faire en français aujourd'hui aussi?
Oh, Nathaniel, I don't know. We could. Bonjour tout le monde.
Fantastic. We'll keep going in English.
Perfect.
Why don't you expand a little bit on how the pandemic has more or less impacted your responsibilities or how you go about delivering those services?
All right. So I have to admit, it's been very different, that's for sure. The staff are used to welcoming the military member in person during like a clearing in. We are also used to having a room full of military spouses working on a craft and chatting and learning a new skill. You know, it's hard because we're just used to seeing everybody. We're used to having someone sitting one-on-one, you know, wanting to be a volunteer or wanting information on second language. But fortunately, though, all the services have transitioned virtually, and it's been working out so far. So our clearing in and our clearing out are done through emails. Personal development activities are done on Zoom. So like we've had watercolor with Carol that has been a success doing it virtually. So that's on Zoom. Some staff are doing recordings so that families can listen to those recordings at a later time when it suits them. All second language training used to be done in person, like in a classroom. That's all gone virtually, and it's working out good. One-on-one information sessions can also be set up. So if somebody is new in the community and they want to learn more and need more than just a telephone call, we can arrange a one-on-one on Zoom as well. So yeah, so it's been working out pretty good.
That's amazing. I wasn't even familiar with everything that you offered. So that's even some news to me.
That's good.
Can you maybe expand on who can access these services, how they go about it, and maybe a few of the upcoming programs you've got?
Perfect. So upcoming in April, we have our regular social coffees that are happening every 2 weeks. We also have evening socials that are happening. And we have partnered with CISUP to do a workshop called, or an info session more, called Finance Matters. Okay. So people can sign up. So easily, you get all the information on our Facebook page, which is very, very active. And you just call that number that's on the advertisement, or not call the number, sorry, email, because it works a lot better. and the person's email address, the staff's email address is right there, and they can do it that way. And it's all military families. So and all military spouses use a lot of our services. And then, like you are going to be hearing with the girls with family, children and youth services, a lot of the children activities as well. So.
Yeah, awesome. And what about civilian employees on base? Are they able to access, or even members in the in the community?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, great. Why don't you tell me about maybe one thing that perhaps you'd like everyone to know about either the Borden Family Resource Center or your programs?
So one thing that I would really like to put out there is that even though our center doors are closed, the staff are still present. So whether you're looking for information about schools in the area or an activity at the center that we're hosting, second language, anything, the Community Integration Program team is here to help. So just reach out to us either via email at Borden Family Resource Center at gmail.com, and then Facebook. Leave a message on the center voicemail that is checked daily, and a staff member will get back to you.
All right, awesome. Last one. What is one thing that, what's the thing that you enjoy most about either your role or working at the BFRC?
The thing I like the most is definitely being able to help somebody out. I remember being that first time military spouse and walking into the Family Resource Center and being greeted with a smile and my answers being answered. I was helped, and that is why later on, I decided that I wanted to work at the Family Resource Center and be able to pay that forward. So there's nothing like being able to help a family or a military member get through their posting.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Maud, thank you for joining us today.
And my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. It was our pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Me now is Wanda Tucker, who is a Family Support Program Supervisor at the Borden Family Resource Center. Wanda, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thanks, Nat. And you?
I'm doing well as well.
Good.
Why don't we start off with you telling us a little bit about yourself and your role at the BFRC?
Okay. As the Family Support Program Supervisor, my primary role is basically to support families. We have several different services that we offer under this program: prevention and intervention, family separation and reunion. We have the Veteran Family Program, and we have the Emergency Family Care Assistance. So even though each one of those has very, very unique requirements, the fundamental need, I guess, is the same, and that is support for all families.
That's wonderful. You mentioned quite a bit of, like you said, different, we'll say, entities or sections within that. Can you expand a little bit on maybe some of the specific either programs or services in each one of those?
Certainly. We offer a lot of services, I guess, across the board that are offered in each one of those. For example, grief counseling. So anybody at all can contact us as long as they're a military or a veteran family member. And right now we're offering telephone counseling. Normally we would do that face-to-face. And so it doesn't matter which program somebody is accessing services to, they can all access that. We also do workshops and information sessions. For example, if it's deployment that we're talking about, then we have the Road to Mental Readiness workshop. We also, for the veterans, we have military first aid for veterans. So yeah, different things like that. We do run programs and specific ones to specific areas, but most of those are open to all military families.
Okay, wonderful. Maybe I'll probe you on this because I'm not 100% sure. What about civilian employees on base? Can they access some of these?
Absolutely. So yes, our programs are definitely open to civilian employees. Some of those things, some of the crafting things or anything that has a fee to it, there may be a fee for civilian employees, but absolutely, they're more than welcome to participate.
All right, wonderful. You started to answer a little bit of my second question, but why don't you expand on how the pandemic perhaps has impacted either how or what you're able to offer to the community?
Okay. The pandemic has definitely impacted. We, as I'm sure you're well aware, a year ago, we had to rethink everything and we had to figure out what things we could still offer, what things we had to redevelop so that we could, we could still offer support and services to families. So there was a lot of thought, a lot of tweaking and adjusting and pivoting, I guess, going into that. So as I said before, our we'd be doing face-to-face brief counseling here on site, and now we've switched that to do telephone counseling. Our workshops and things like that, we now offer online. And the beauty of that is that because Borden is a training base, sometimes there is always the challenge of having people attend those workshops, and if our numbers are not high enough, there's always the potential for canceling. But now, of course, we're discovering that we can now access workshops and info sessions all across Canada. So the family resource centers are now working together to provide services. And if a family calls to say that they're struggling with posting and they're looking for some support, one of the other family resource centers may be offering a workshop on posting. So we're able to link them. So we found that, even though, it's been stressful and it's been a challenge, we're also discovering that there are some very positive things that come out of this. So a definite increase in resources we've noticed.
Oh, good. So it sounds like you've adapted well. And it's wonderful that if a family, a member is not able to get the service here, for lack of numbers or whatever the reason, that you're now linking them to other resource centers that can provide the service because they've got the numbers at the time or whatnot. And that's great.
We also have a lot of tools that are available, and we still have those for families that require them. I actually have some examples of some of those. The challenges that families deal with, one of the things that has been pretty consistent that I have noticed is parents who have a son or daughter who is deploying. There's many more parents, I find, reaching out for help than there used to be. And they're nervous. A lot of times it's the very first deployment. They're not quite sure about feelings that they're going through. So we have different things that we're able to offer. For example, we have a deployment journal for parents. So this is a book that we can give to them. And in this book, it's different pages on different things that they can write down, how to deal with special occasions while their son or daughter is away, different feelings that they're having. It's a great way for them to be able to express themselves and also have a tangible something to give their son or daughter when they return. So it's a great way to to sort of document things that they're feeling. We also have different books and things like that for children. So children struggle, of course, with deployments and postings, and we're often asked to, for help and advice on how parents can talk to children about that type of thing. So we have different books. One of the ones we have is A Kite for Russell. This deals with illness within the family. We also have Why Is Dad So Mad? So this is a book that specifically deals with PTSD. And we have these wonderful deployment books that were developed by the Esquimalt Family Resource Center, and they are actually age specific. So we have them for different ages. This one happens to be 6 to 8 years old, and it comes with all different kinds of activities and posters and just different things, stickers and stuff that we can give to children so that they can learn about what's happening, and it gives them a greater understanding of deployment. We also had one that was specifically geared to moms that are being deployed. So that one was quite nice.
Oh,
And yeah, and the
amazing.
deployment journal for kids was the last thing. So we have one for parents, and then we have one as well for the children. So all of those resources we have available here, and anybody who's interested, they just need to contact me and they can pick them up.
Oh, that's amazing. All kinds of different things for almost any situation there with regards to deployment.
Yeah, we try very, very hard. We also have a pretty extensive library that we have books that can be signed out. And in that library, there are some pretty specific topics. We've tried to cover so many things: grief, loss. We've, there's just so many. We have them on, different psychological things, depression, when your marriage fails, anxiety, all different kinds of really difficult topics. So, if anybody is looking for that, and we find too that having that tangible thing that we can hand somebody when they're not in the best frame of mind, often, having that thing that they can hold makes it a little easier for them to access. So, to access any of those, if somebody is interested, they just need to call me and I can just let them know what we have available.
That's great. Maybe one of our last questions here. Why don't you tell us maybe one thing that you would like everyone to know about either the Borden Family Resource Center or about the services that you provide?
Okay. First of all, I guess the Family Resource Center is for all families and all family members. It can be siblings, it can be the spouses, it can be the parents. It's not just the core family. It's, any family member, anybody that you consider family is welcome at the Family Resource Center, where you do not have to have children to come in, and that's a lot of people do feel that way. But yeah, we have a lot of services here for adults. We can help with employment, with language training. We can we can bridge to, if they're going to a different province, we can be the bridge in between that. There are so many services that we can offer. The other thing that I would like for people to know is, even though our doors are not open, we are still available. I do quite a few days in the office and a couple of days at home, but even when we're home, we still can check messages. We have somebody monitoring our main line constantly, so the response time is pretty quick. So anybody at all who needs to reach us, you just need to reach out and just leave us a message if nobody picks up, and we will respond pretty quickly.
That's wonderful to know. Last one. Why don't you tell us what you enjoy most about your role at the Borden Family Resource Center?
I really, really enjoy interacting directly with the families. So that is absolutely, that's my favorite thing. I like being here for the families. I like feeling that we can offer assistance, we can offer support. What seems like a huge problem sometimes can often have a very simple, I hesitate to use the word solution, but there are so many things that can be offered, and even sometimes people just need somebody to sit down and talk to. They just need somebody to hear them, and it's really nice that we are able to do that. We have some fabulous families, and the feedback that we get from them is amazing. It's a pleasure to work with them.
It's good to hear as well, because I find sometimes we hear often enough, a barrier to come in is, people hesitant on wanting to know if somebody is going to be able to help them. And it sounds to me like your favorite thing is to be able to do exactly that, support the family in any which way you can, provide the resource, help them with the programming and services that you offer.
Exactly. And it comes down to family needs. So, we are flexible, whatever the family needs. I mean, we've, it's not a cookie cutter thing. I mean, each family deals with its own challenges. And and we just anything that we can do to assist and support that family, we are here. We do everything that we possibly can, and very happy to do that.
All right. Wonderful, Wanda. Well, that's it for us today for this portion of the interview. So thank you for your time and your wonderful knowledge.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Joining me now is Joanne, Lauren, and Amelia, who all work within the Children and Youth Program at the Borden Family Resource Center. Welcome to Masterclass, everyone. Why don't we jump right in? Can you first tell me a little bit about yourself and your role at the Borden Family Resource Center?
Okay, so my name's Joanne Moronino. I am the Children and Youth Program Supervisor at the Borden Family Resource Center. I've been with the centre now for about 3.5 years in the same position. And my role is to supervise, obviously, the Children and Youth Program and just ensure that the military needs for the children aged 0 to 18 and the parents are being met within the program.
Hi, my name is Lauren Tringstra. I am the Children's Activity Facilitator. I've been with the Borden Family Resource Center for 5 years, and my role is to provide resources and programming for children 0 to 6 years of age and their parents, and those services enhance their wellness and their relationships with each other.
Hi, my name is Amelia Sador. I am the Children and Youth Program Activity Facilitator. I've been with the Borden Family Resource Center for nearly 2.5 years. My role is to provide resources and programming with a focus on resiliency and problem solving for children and youth aged 6 to 18 years of age. I also facilitate the Special Needs Inclusion Program, which provides support, resources, and programming for children, youth, and their families within the Borden military community.
All right, wonderful. Thank you all for sharing that. All right, can you tell us a little bit about how the pandemic has impacted your responsibilities and perhaps what you're able to provide to the community?
Yeah, so the pandemic has definitely shifted the focus of the Children and Youth Program to serve the community virtually rather than in person. We've done that by offering virtual programming and providing information and resources to the participants via website links and also with infographics. And now that the Children and Youth Program has established a virtual presence, in a post-pandemic world, services will be provided both virtually and in person. It's allowed the CYP staff to reach out to all participants, regardless of their last visit to the center, to connect and receive individualized feedback from them. And due to the virtual platform of service delivery, the demographic has been broadened to include military families across the province and also the country.
Well, that's wonderful. So you've even taken the opportunity to expand and grow a little bit of how you were able to deliver your services.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
great. I just thought of something. Can you maybe expand a little bit on some of those different programs available to the children and youth? Maybe a few examples, who can access them and how they can go about doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. So within Parent-Child Services, which is the 0 to 6-year-olds and their parents, we have the Stay and Play Away program, which is just a weekly kind of check-in, an opportunity for parents to socialize with other parents of young children. Obviously, that connection has been lost a little bit with this pandemic and not being able to see as many people. And so this is our opportunity to really encourage parents to come and chat and maybe get to know a little bit more about what the BFRC is all about during that time. We also have a Parent-Child Services Facebook group, which is specifically all content designed for parents of younger children. So on that group, we provide resources and polls for them to give some feedback. And we also do weekly activities. So whether that's a craft or a sensory activity or a monthly cooking with kids activity. We provide a recipe for them to follow along with as I do the recipe. And they get to cook in their kitchen and see how to involve their children in that and all the skills that they can develop from those activities. So that's within the parent-child services.
Yeah, and I'll speak briefly about the youth services. So that's ages 6 to 18 years old, as well as the SNP program. So we have every Wednesday, the first 3 Wednesdays of every month is a 1-hour session, and it's broken up by ages. So the first would be Kids Club, which is 6 to 10. The second is Tweens, which is 10 to 14, and the last is Teens, which is 15 to 18. This is a registered activity, and each month is something different. So for example, we have a money management workshop coming up, and they can register and learn all about money management and financial education. We also have a parent support group once a month, which is the last Monday. And that again is virtual, as everything is right now, and it is a registered activity. And then something else that Lauren and I have been doing is creating pre-recorded information sessions. So we've done lots of different types of topics, and we have other people from the Borden Family Resource Center adding in and kind of talking about the different programs. And again, we have our Facebook group, the Youth Services. So if anyone is interested in joining any of these activities, they can follow the Borden Family Resource Center page, and then on top of that, join into the groups with the Parents Services or the Youth Services.
And also we've got a few workshops happening at the moment, and which we do throughout the year. We'll do a rainbows for children who are experiencing grief. We'll do a friends workshop. We have one of those starting next week, where they can come and learn some social skills. We have Bully Brave, where they get to learn lots of skills on how to have positive conflict resolution. And then recently we've just facilitated a Bully Brave workshop for mental health during COVID. So throughout the year we have a lot of different workshops for different ages that people can call into the BFRC and register.
All right, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Another kind of side question. What or who can really access these programs? So with me being a civilian employee on base, can my children access some of these programs?
Yes, so most of the programs we will have out for the CAF members and the veteran families, and then the D&D families, the people who provide services to the CAF members, and then also civilians. Sometimes, however, they are the workshops are just for the military CAF members and for the people who support the military members.
All right, great. And you mentioned people can access that information probably through your Facebook group and online. Definitely. And we'll share all of those links at the end of this masterclass session. Great, yeah. Thank you all for sharing that. Last question. Now, what is one thing that you would want your clients to know about your services or the Borden Family Resource Center?
Yeah, so I can answer that. So something that we would want participants to know about the Children and Youth Program is that it aims to promote resiliency and enhance the wellness of military parents, children and youth within the Borden and surrounding community by offering drop-in programs, virtual activities, workshops, and resources for parents and children aged 0 to 18 years of age, inclusive of families with children with special needs.
All right, wonderful. Maybe one more here. I've got one. Why don't maybe can each of you tell me the one thing that you enjoy most about maybe your role at the Borden Family Resource Center? Put you on the spot here.
Yeah, that's okay. I have to say, seeing the successes with the children after doing certain programs, you really see the light bulb switch on, and they're forthcoming with their, I guess, information or feelings. So you can see how the programs assist the children to grow and learn and help them within their everyday life. So that's definitely something that's very heartwarming.
Good.
Yeah, I can go next. I think I love being able to be so creative and really serve the military community in the way that they need. Being able to kind of focus on the workshops or the activities and that the children and youth that are attending at that time need is really fun because it can be so creative. And I just really enjoy working with that demographic.
Yeah, I would definitely tag on with what Joanne said and Amelia said as well about seeing those children and in my case as well, the parents growing and developing as they spend time at the Family Resource Center. I think probably one of my favorite programs is the Stay and Play program. With military families moving so often, they have to create new relationships all the time. So it's really exciting when you get to see parents and younger children connecting with new people in their community and really establishing a sense of belonging within the Borden community through our services. So that's always really exciting.
Well, that's amazing. I can see our children, youth, and CAF families are in wonderful hands at the Borden Family Resource Center. Well, thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Amelia, for joining our masterclass today. And I'd also like to thank the entire Borden Family Resource Center for taking on masterclass with us today. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Nat.
Thank you.